I've been wanting to drink for a long time. I kind of woke up this morning wanting a drink.
All those people who thought that you can't drink and read the Bible, they were wrong.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning.
Welcome. Today we're talking a little Genesis, a little Adam and Eve, a little, beginnings of the world. It's gonna make Adam do, right? I feel like Eve was more like a no-nonsense character, right? Maybe God will just be a blank space with like texts, you know? Like just the text comes through. But then it's my voice and that's, but. And then the serpent, we need to figure out who the serpent is.
We can't have it be Shannon, that's sexist.
It can't have it be you, that's racist.
That's racist.
I love Jen. Jenny, Jen. Here it goes down into my belly. Oh, man. I mean, it's just so easy, right? God's like, eat any tree. Any tree. God, a la Louis C.K. I gave you this, right? I gave all this to you, and then you don't think that you can clean it up. Adam's got to name all the animals. How do you name the animals?
Here's, like, a couple, like...
I mean, how do you come up with that kind of thing? Like, how do you name a giraffe a giraffe?
You're eating ants. You're an anteater. You're hopping on the grass. You're a grasshopper.
Like, big, tall...
However, problem... Ants had to be named first. Grass had to be named first. See, I've thought about this stuff.
Adam's like, oh, it's too hard to work by myself. Right? Adam's like, I'm lonely. God's like, takes a rib out, makes a woman. I don't know where to go with that one. And then there's a snake, right? And the snake's like, why did God tell you this? Why did God tell you don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? And Eve gives us sort of, well, God said so. And Adam's like, well, God said so, right? So the serpent's like, you know why you can't eat of that tree. Because if you eat of that tree, you are going to be like God, knowing the difference between good and evil. So, like, you're going to know shit and be able to do shit. And so you can't do that. The snake's like, do it, yo. And they're like, fine, until they eat it. I wonder what it tasted like. So God's walking through and enjoying the garden breeze and the night is falling. And then God's looking for Adam and Adam hides. God's like, why are you hiding? And Adam's like, because I was naked. And God's like, how did you know you were naked? I mean, there's this whole thing, right? There's this whole weird kind of dynamic there. And Adam's hiding from God and yet they're like best buds. And what's going on? And God's like, what did you do? What did you do? I don't know if I want God like that. Maybe God's like, what's up? How's it going? And Adam does that great thing, right? I mean, he blames both, right? The woman you gave me. I mean, the man is never wrong, right? It's like, what? Okay. Adam mansplains God, right? Adam's like, well, actually, God. What? I mean, here's the thing, right? Eve doesn't talk a lot in this story. Like, where's Eve? Like, what's Eve doing? Eve doesn't talk a lot because it's the Bible, right? The Bible's like, listen, we named you, okay? So that should be enough. I mean, you know what? You want speaking lines too? This is the Bible that we're dealing with. And that's when they figure out, right, that they're naked. And so they're naked, and then they're ashamed about it, then they put fig leaves on. God's like, all right, I'm turning this car around. And you gotta go. It's been too real. You gotta go. And they get kicked out, right? And once they get kicked out of the garden, Eve's like, you gotta do me. And you gotta do me right. They had to get kicked out. They had to experience some kind of loss. And then they're all about it.
This isn't like even intelligent design. This is like vengeful design.
Vengeful Design is the new title of my upcoming R&B. Vengeful Design.